Welcome back. Hope you had a good journey into the infinite. And this week's topic is that unusual line from the St. Francis prayer, the prayer of anomalies, contradictions, paradoxes, where it says, "It is by self-forgetting that one finds." And it's a daunting idea, isn't it? It's like, I can't forget myself. There won't be anything left. I'll be the hole in the donut. There'll be nothing left of any value. And yet there it is, the great promise. It is by self-forgetting that one finds. I guess we better look at the second clause of the phrase and see why that might hold great promise for us. What do we find when we forget our current sense of self? If it just said, forget yourself, I mean, that's almost a curse we would say to someone when we were a kid. Forget you. You'd say that to your brother or sister when they were bothering you, or your best friend when they were pestering you, or a bully or an enemy. Forget you. But in this case, it says, forget ourselves, and then we find. What could we find that would make forgetting ourselves sufficiently worthwhile? Ponder, ponder, ponder. Well, what's worth finding? It must be worth finding, right? So we would find more love, more wisdom, more truth, more joy, more health, more capacity, more understanding, more harmony, more goodness, more truth, more inspiration. That's what we would find. Well, that would seem to be a fair exchange. What would I be sacrificing or exchanging in exchange for all those wonderful things that I would find? Well, what would be worth forgetting? Fear, anguish, resentment, hatred, disease, anxiety, competition, stress, worry. Do you ever suffer from any of those things? Those things must be the result of an inaccurate, inadequate, constrained, inauthentic sense of self, a small sense of self. So I suppose, in essence, this great clause, this great spiritual principle that's mentioned in so many other ways, I might mention it as relieve me of the bondage of self, that we're exchanging or sacrificing a small, limited, unpleasant sense of being for a much more grand, potentially infinitely grand sense and experience of living. So then the great question is, Greg, how the hell do I forget who I am? I'm so addicted to who I think I am. It seems to be the most automatic thing. It's autopilot. It seems to be determined. It's the way my brain is shaped. Well, this is where I think there is absolutely no doubt. And weigh this for yourself, my dear friends listening, whether it's my local friends or friends all the way around the world watching this. Don't forget to like and subscribe, by the way. It's we can't forget ourselves on our own. This self cannot forget the self. We have to have God's help. We have to have the help of our larger self. That's the way this covenant is. That's the way this door opens. The door swings inward to our soul. It doesn't push out from the inside. So we have to have God's help. You're going to have to translate that however you want. But to me, that involves surrender, willingness, innocence, a great deal of humility, and any amount of pain that comes from my own self-willed resistance or struggle. But I think it requires asking, I think it requires seeking, and I think it requires open-mindedness, and I think it requires a great humility of soul. What are your answers? How do I forget this small sense of self that I can let go of these great pains and find all those wonderful qualities of love, light, and truth? This is the great adventure of living. We're all involved. Enjoy your journey. I will enjoy mine this one day. And together we can find this much more quickly. Peace.